Welcome to Stories I Didn't Get to Tell Last Sunday. Hey, this is Doug McAllister, and this is the weekly podcast from Journey Fellowship Church. And today I'm joined by my first cousin, Richard Soley, and Richard and I are going to reminisce about some old times, talk about politics, and talk about life, and just kind of have a little catch-up time. So we're happy that you can join us today. So, Richard, I'm glad you came over, man. Thanks for coming and joining
Appreciate
my podcast
you inviting
today.
me.
So I was telling a story yesterday at church. Our sermon series is called Time, and yesterday I was talking about waiting on God, and I was telling the story about when Grandpa, Jesse Soley, formed our little softball team.
Yeah.
Remember that summer? So we'd all ride in the back of his
truck. Nobody had driver's license.
10 teenage boys.
That's right.
Standing in the back of a pickup truck.
That's right.
You remember that?
Oh, I know.
Grandpa would say, two of y'all get in the front, everybody else in the back.
No driver. I mean, nobody had a driver.
No driver. And remember that he had that CB radio?
Yep.
He had a big, long antenna. It was about 10 foot tall. And he let us get in the cab every now and then play on it.
Do
you remember his call numbers on the back of the window?
I can't remember.
I remember.
That was that old red truck.
I got stuck in the back of the truck. I was the runt, so I was in the back. And I was standing right in front of the truck. I memorized them. It was KMV 2539. That was his CB call letters. Yeah, so you had to, when CB was big, you had to give your call letters when you got them. So anyway, I remember riding to that truck. So anyway, we played a summer league, and Grandpa put us in a tournament in Albany. Remember that field that was between Albany
Bethlehem?
and
I think it was over Bethlehem Church. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was right in between. I think there's like a salvage yard there now or something. Anyway, he let me pitch that day.
That was Air Days.
Oh, that's where it was. Yeah,
Air Days.
It was. We played like one tournament there. So anyway, he put me in the pitch. He said I was the youngest. Like your brother Tommy was a superstar. He was a great ball player.
But he was 16. We was like 13,
yeah,
14.
I think I was 12. So he let me pitch that day because I couldn't run or catch.
Yeah.
And after I walked 4 people, Grandpa came out to the mound and put his arm around me and said, "Come on, son, come sit on the bench with me. You're not ready for this." So I told that story yesterday, and I used it as sometimes you're not ready.
Yeah.
And you got to get sat down. And we live in a culture today where when kids play ball, they all get a trophy.
That's right.
And
nobody earns nothing
that's
anymore.
Useless.
That's right.
I mean, disappointment helps you grow up.
That's right.
And when your own grandpa takes you off the team and tells you to sit down, that brings you to reality. Like, I am not very good at this.
But that's society now. Everybody's got a trophy, no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, you participate when you first sign up.
Yeah.
They get the name for the trophies.
You're going to win a trophy, and you haven't even earned anything, man.
But we was like as I was talking earlier. We was kids playing in men's tournaments.
We were, man. These are grown. These are 20 and 30-year-old men.
There was no organized.
Right.
Pee-wee ball when we used to come down.
No.
They wasn't. You had
not
to go,
in our area.
Not in our area,
Yeah.
We just
played with the big boys,
We played with the big boys.
Remember the team that Mr. Roberts sponsored?
Raiders.
Boy, those boys were bad.
But they was men and we was kids.
They all had jobs and trucks and lives. And we all showed up in the back of a red pickup.
Used to, that was grown men playing against kids. Basically.
They were. They really. Did we ever win any games?
I don't know if we ever won any or not.
If we ever did or not. We used to have one good ball. Remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
And some of the teams will feel sorry for us. They got tired of throwing our heavy ball. They let us use their ball.
Our ball was waterlogged. It was lopsided.
But we played in like pastures.
Yeah,
I mean, there wasn't no fields like Hanos wouldn't even exist there. No good ball.
Hanos developed because they developed like 4 fields. I mean,
they've got 2 fields long, but they're right by they developed 2.
Yeah, they went big time, man.
Yeah, that's when softball started growing.
Yeah,
when we started playing, it was only like 10 or 11 teams.
Yeah,
before Hanos picked up and got
played
big.
out by Blood River. Remember that field?
Yep.
It was more like just a cow pasture.
Yeah, that's Raiders field. That was about a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, one of our guys we went to school with owns that now.
Really?
Jimmy owns that.
Does
now.
he really?
Him and Bedaloo.
Oh my God!
He's right there on the corner.
I did not know that. I got to go see him.
Lizard Creek, that's where they call it.
Oh, that's it. I forgot. We played there a lot in the Raiders.
The outhouse was on first base.
I know, bro. I remember what a bad location.
I'll tell you what. But it was a good times.
Yeah.
Really, back then, it was more fun than it is now. Because it was more fun. It's more competitive.
Right.
And it takes the fun out of it. When you take competitive out of it, when you get real competitive.
I know it. Remember our first uniforms that we made? We all got white T-shirts.
Yep.
And we did we use our marks a lot? I can't remember how we wrote.
I can't remember what it was, but we couldn't afford them. We just got what we had.
We all had our own little T-shirts, and then we wrote the name of our.
On the terrace. We was proud of it. It might have been a poor neighborhood, but we was proud of it.
Yeah, we lived in a poor neighborhood.
But we was proud of it.
But I didn't know I was poor until much later.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sure did. I mean, but you know.
What was the name of our first softball team?
Sarah's Cobras.
The Cobras.
Sarah's Cobras. I don't know where the Cobras come from, but that's what.
There wasn't a Cobra anywhere near us.
No.
Why we picked that? And then later on, we switched it to Terrace Outlaws.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Terrace was the name of our neighborhood. We lived outside of Springfield.
Right in the middle.
And there's like a little development with 3 streets that somebody kind of built a.
Over Pardew's done that.
That's who did it. I forgot.
Over Pardew had all that.
Because he had those streets developed.
Yeah, his daddy did, not the junior. His daddy.
Everybody could build a little house. And it was like little, shotgun houses and just.
Oh, that's what Grandpa had probably about.
Yeah, Grandpa owned a bunch of them.
Owned a bunch of them.
Yeah, he owned a bunch of them. We don't really know where Grandpa came from.
We really don't.
I know.
We did an ancestor deal, and it ended where after so many of the Soleys, we did it on both sides of the family. The Soleys didn't go as far as the other side. We don't know.
Well, just so everybody knows that's watching, your dad and my mom were brother and sister. That's right. So we really grew up together. I mean,
we grew up together.
You and I were together almost every day, every summer, all the time. So your dad and my mom, their father, our grandpa, his name was Jesse. What was his name?
Jesse James.
Jesse James. That's right. He was named after an outlaw.
Yeah, Jesse James.
But when we do the research, we can't find out where he came from.
No, it goes like after his mama, it goes like two steps up, and then it just.
I know, it disappears. It kind of makes me wonder.
You don't.
Either they didn't keep good records.
They didn't keep records,
or he changed his name.
Or something we don't know.
We don't know what happened. Yeah.
Actually, Tommy went up to somewhere in Mississippi, looked up a Soley port, a guy that's Soley. Yeah. He was related somehow or another. This guy was 90-some years old.
Wow.
And he was telling Tommy stories.
So he's like a cousin to Grandpa?
He's like a cousin to Grandpa.
Man, I'd like to have met him. Yeah, so he owned a bunch of those houses. So they named that little neighborhood the Terrace.
Yep.
Which sounds like a very fancy neighborhood.
But it's not.
It wasn't. I mean,
when we lived down there, it was gravel when we lived down there.
Right. All the roads are gravel.
Mm-hmm. Then except for the one going all the way through was blacktop.
Oh, wasn't?
Yeah, the one back.
Oh, that's right.
That went all the way through.
The main it went from Highway 43 all the way to Blood River Road.
Yeah, that was the only
one. Everything else was gravel. It's all blacktop now. And I noticed they have their own water system now, their own sewer system.
Yeah, they got their own sewer system. They used to have, which they was better off.
Yeah.
They used to have artesian well.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
2,000 feet.
That's right.
Good water.
Everybody had water.
That's right, good water.
Yeah.
Now the city, they come in and they did.
We got parish water.
Parish water. Yeah. I think they run off that. They may run off the same well. I'm not for sure.
Yeah.
Now they pay for it. It was free.
I know they were.
I mean,
we used to get our own free water, man. Now the city found a way to sell it to us.
Like I say, I enjoyed our childhood.
Me too, Richard.
Man, it's changed since we've been down there.
Yeah.
But you could leave the house open.
Yeah.
Not have to worry about nobody messing with
Absolutely.
Not have to worry about messing with
And
nothing.
we would go out in the summertime. We'd leave at daylight.
That's right.
And come back when the sun went down. My mom would say, "You be home before dark." Yeah.
We had fun.
Yeah. I remember that summer, Tommy, your older brother, bought a new bat.
Oh, we thought
Dude, we thought we had arrived, man. And he bought a bag to put it in, so we show up at the game with one bag.
One bag.
With one bat.
Yeah.
And one ball. And we were playing these guys who showed up with equipment.
That's like now.
Yeah.
That bat lasts you forever.
Yeah.
My son's over softball now.
Oh,
the bats don't last. They pay $300, $400 for these bats.
Yeah.
They last maybe a tournament.
Later on when I got out of high school, I bought an aluminum bat that I still have
to
this day. It's 40 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can still use it or not. I don't know.
Yeah, probably is.
But it was a good bat, man. I used it after we got married. You and I both got married young.
Yeah.
Back in those days.
Right out of high school, yeah.
Right? We didn't go to college, man. We just got
straight to work.
And because of your dad, because your dad was making it big at that time, he hired all of us. We all got jobs, I guess when we grew older, we kind of realized that, we come from a, redneck, in a white trash neighborhood.
But
we didn't know it.
But, I wouldn't have had it any other way.
I know, man. It was a great life, man, because your mama was always home. My mom
was always home.
Always. And your mom, man, if you go to y'all's house was always spotless, man. Your mom cleaned every day and made y'all's beds. She probably spoiled you, man.
Well, I'll tell you earlier, my wife paying for that today. Because I never made a bed.
Right.
We wouldn't allow it. Mama made the beds.
Yeah.
I mean, she done everything.
Right.
She done every clean, like I say, we get up early in the morning. Say we get up early in the morning and cut the grass one morning. By the time we got up, the grass was cut.
She's done. She done washed 2 loads of clothes, cut the grass, cooked supper. Yeah.
I mess with my wife all the time. I said, look, they didn't have dryers back then.
Right.
It was 5 of us.
That's right.
So she hung clothes out for 5 kids.
That's right. I got a picture. I'm going to show it to you guys in a minute. I got a picture of us playing softball, and behind it is the clothesline.
Yep.
See it? Your mom hung those clothes out there, and me and you and Tommy and Ronnie, my brother, Jesse and Gary, we're all playing basketball in your backyard. And it looks like we had like an old tire rim as a
That's what it was. That's what it was.
It wasn't even a real basketball.
It was a tire rim.
We had stripped all the spokes out of a tire rim and nailed it to a piece of wood. That was our backboard.
Man, we had a good childhood.
Man,
actually did. We didn't realize
it was amazing.
Now,
yeah,
they didn't have all this technology, so you had to do stuff to have fun.
You did,
which you did, it was good, clean fun. You wasn't in front of a TV all. No. Everybody says it's hotter today. It's not hotter today.
No, you just used to
air conditioning.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was hot
we stayed outside. It was hot, but we stayed outside.
That summer that they blacktopped the road y'all lived on, you remember? They put that blacktop down. We were probably teenagers. Remember how hot that blacktop would get? That the asphalt would just burn your feet.
How come y'all would do stuff backwards though? They put the road, they put the asphalt down. Then they decided they need to put covers in.
I know.
So
they dug it all up. Oh, we forgot to put covers in, man. Yeah, but we didn't wear shoes. I don't know if I ever wore a pair of shoes.
Not in the summertime.
Unless I went to school. And
then
they were hand-me-downs.
I could walk on grass. Just like we could walk on grass. Now I can't even walk on.
I know. I can't walk on grass. We walked down those hot asphalt roads in the middle of the summer. Burn our foot. We didn't care, man. Yeah. Remember that little pond that was down?
That was Grandpa's pond. We said it was his pond. It was over there. That's actually where the flow well was at.
That's right. I remember. Yeah.
Where the flow well was at.
Yeah. We used to go to that little pond, play and fish.
I think they finally built that thing up.
Did you ever sneak down to the river and jump off the cypress tree?
Yep.
Remember doing that one summer? Mama would let me go. All of y'all got to go, and she said,
Doug, Daddy didn't know.
Well, Mama said, Doug, you can't swim, and she's right. I couldn't swim. She would let me go, but I snuck off.
You went to the cypress tree?
Yeah, and dude, they made me climb up the tree, and I was wishing I listened to Mama because I was so scared, man. I climbed back down. I didn't jump because it was 30 foot off.
When I jumped, I regretted it.
Yeah.
Because that water doesn't flow there.
Yeah.
It's stagnated. It doesn't really flow there.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
And I got the worst earaches from there.
Yeah, because it was just...
See, we both I had strict parents. You did, too.
Yeah, we're very...
back then, even when I was 18 years old, I had a curfew.
Yeah, me too, bro.
And I was out of school.
Yep.
I mean...
had a curfew. Absolutely.
And that's just if I'd go somewhere, and he told me on 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
My dad wasn't the one to sit around and wait. He'd come looking for you.
Yeah.
So that's embarrassing.
And if he found you.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. You're sitting out and your friends and your dad come say, you got to go home.
So your dad, my Uncle J.W.,
yeah.
He started working at TK Valve, and he worked himself. He had an 8th grade education.
8th grade.
And he worked himself all the way up to plant superintendent. He was over the entire plant. By that time, there was probably 400 or 500 people working there.
Then they transferred him over a plant in Houston for 2.5 years.
That's right. You guys moved to Houston
for 2.5 years.
I hated that day when y'all told us y'all were leaving.
Yeah, worse than I did.
Y'all going to Houston, man.
We come home every weekend.
Yeah.
And that's when.
Yeah.
I ain't talking politics, but that's when they come down to 55 miles an hour.
I remember, yeah.
So Houston, 6-hour drive, went from 70 miles an hour to 55 miles an hour.
Right.
So
took another hour,
That tells you how old I am. They was just building the the basin, across the basin.
Yeah, the Chafalaya.
You had to go down 190.
Right.
They was in the process of doing that.
That was in the 70s then.
That's right. They was in the process of doing that.
They were just building I-10
So it took a while.
Yeah.
We leave every Friday.
Yeah. And come home.
Wow. We stay at... Ruth actually stayed in our house.
Right.
So we come home, we leave every Sunday. We've done that for the first year.
I know. Well, can't wait for y'all to get back home, man. Yeah. And I remember you living in the big city. So you went from Springfield Elementary and junior Houston high with 200 students in the whole school.
To 1,500 between 3 grades, 6, 7, 8.
So Houston was a whole different life for you.
Whole different life.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for it. I didn't.
Yeah.
Country boy, But
your dad did so well. When he came back, he went back to his job as a general superintendent.
Superintendent,
And then he hired all of us. Every time we graduated from high school, he'd hire one of us, to work for him. So I think we all worked for your dad at one time or another.
Everybody. All the siblings did.
Yeah. All the cousins, all my brothers.
And everybody in the neighborhood.
Yeah. All my brothers worked there.
Just about everybody in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good experience.
Yeah, we graduated from a class of 50.
I know, 48.
Was it 48?
49. Yeah. We had 49 people.
49 people.
Yeah, I know it, man. That was a class of 80. Yeah, I was thinking back too. Remember that Saturday night trip your dad would take us on to the wrestling match?
Laranja, that was true.
Okay, I like it. In the middle of Laranja, which is a small town, they had the Laranja Coliseum. It was a metal building that somebody put up. I guess some businessman put up a Coliseum. And Mid-South Wrestling, which was like a local wrestling organization, would bring their stars every Saturday night, and we'd go. It was like $1 to get in.
Wasn't much, yeah.
I know. Yeah, and your dad would load us in the back of his car. Not enough seat belts for all the kids.
Oh, no.
We just sat on each other's laps. We hugged each other, and we would ride all the way to Laranja.
But it was like,
yeah.
Then they had a show in Albany used to drop us off at.
Oh, yeah, the movie theater.
A lot of people don't realize there was a show in Albany.
There was. Right there now, there's like a dental office or something.
That's right. Yeah. There was a show there.
I know already. We'd go
Played
to
the same show, I think. Oh, Elvis, it was the same stuff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't no.
I think I saw an Elvis movie there. Was it Girls? And then also the original Jungle Book.
Did you?
We saw that there. Remember
Jungle Book? They drop us off.
Yeah. And give us a quarter. Yeah, and we go to the movie. And then there was a skating rink across the street. Remember that little block building down the block?
I can remember my spending money in the first grade was a quarter.
Yeah.
15 cents for Coke, and it was a nickel for popcorn. And that tells you.
Yeah, Mama.
It tells you how old we are.
We had a field trip. With my class in elementary, and they took us to remember Erdy's Sandwich Shop in Albany?
Yeah.
They took us to Erdy's Sandwich Shop, and my mom gave me 50 cents that day to buy a snack on the field trip. Well, I got there and got in line, and I was reading the menu, and I wanted a banana split, and it was 55 cents. And I had 50 cents. Man, I want a banana split. All the other kids would get banana splits,
Yeah.
I wanted one. So the guy behind me, his name was Woody. He was my best friend in that grade. I said, Woody, can you loan me a nickel?
Yeah.
Woody must have been rich because you pulled out a handful of change, and he handed me 10 cents to pay tax from it. So I got my banana split thanks to Woody.
Tell you what, change is useless now.
Yeah, man.
You can't buy nothing.
Yeah, right. You ever eat at Hi-Ho in Hannah? Remember going there to get the barbecue?
You get them things.
Yeah. Mama would drop me and Ronnie off there. She would go to get groceries at the Winn-Dixie.
Right there. Winn-Dixie's in that parking lot.
Next door. Right now, I think it's a Walgreens or something there now.
Yeah, it's Walgreens on that corner.
But she would drop us off at the Hi-Ho barbecue, give us $1. Not each, total, $1. And she would go shopping for an hour, and me and Ronnie would go in. We'd order 2 barbecues, 2 long neck root beers, and some chips for $1. All of it.
That's right.
And get change back. Mama would say, "Where's my change?" When she got back in the car, here's a nickel back.
That was.
Yeah.
And now they was outrageous. Yeah. Everything is now.
Yeah, I know, man. We had a good life, bro.
We really did.
Both of us got to marry our high school sweetheart. I married Rachel, and you married Tina right out of high school.
Yeah.
And we stayed best friends for.
We used to get together.
I know.
With the couples and play.
We did
volleyball every weekend.
Right, and we played some kind of card game. What's that game?
I forget what it was, but we played volleyball in the backyard.
Oh, we did.
We played volleyball.
Yeah, Billy and Annette.
Played
with us, and some of the other couples from the neighborhood. Seems like yesterday, bro. We were kids.
Time flies, man.
I know, man. Your kids are grown.
Now I got a son, 38.
I know it. You got How many grandkids do you have?
I got 4.
4. How old are they?
Man, don't ask me. You'll get me in trouble. Everybody watch this guy. I had one just made 11. Jessica's boy just made 11 yesterday.
Okay.
I had to ask Laura how old he was.
So your wife had to tell you?
Wife tells me when their birthdays is, tells me everything.
Oh, man. So I have 5 grandkids. You got 4. But it seems like yesterday we were the grandkids.
That's right.
Your grandpa bought an old horse. Remember the horse he had in his front
yard? He used to buy them things all the time. Them things was wild.
And he told me one day, Doug, jump on that horse. I was a kid, He was trying to teach me how to get on. So instead of getting on the side like he told me to, I decided to run behind it like the Lone Ranger. Jump on the back. And as soon as I put my hands on his behind, he kicked me in the leg, knocked me on the ground. And Grandpa said, I told you to get on the side.
Them things would bite. It was in ponies. You go to auction and buy them things.
I know, man. They were mean.
They would try to bite you if you got on them.
Some bad ponies, boy. What did he do with those horses?
I don't know what he done with them. I don't know why he bought them.
Why is he buying horses? Probably Jesse wanted them.
Jesse might have wanted them.
Yeah.
But
we had some fun, bro. We had such a good time. I talked to your dad not long before he died.
Yeah.
What year did Uncle Jay die?
Man, you don't get me in trouble.
Richard,
I can't remember dates,
man. Anything, man. I should have brought Laura here.
You're right. He's been dead probably, what, 5 years maybe?
It's been longer than that. Well, we had just opened the new campus out in Lacombe, and I was walking through the hall one day, and I haven't seen your dad, Uncle Jay, probably in 5 or 6 years. I saw him at somebody's funeral, 5 years earlier. So I walked into the hall where the offices were, and he was coming down the hall. And I was like, okay, am I seeing things? Because I hadn't seen Uncle Jay in years. And I said, J.W. Soley. And he said, he always called me Douglas.
Yeah.
Douglas, what are you doing, son? I said, I'm wondering if I'm dreaming. What are you doing? What are you doing here? He said, son, I just want to come see you. And Richard, he sat down and we talked probably for half an hour, man.
Yeah.
And I look back and I think he knew he was dying.
Yeah.
He didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
He said, this is what he told me. I just wanted to see your face and tell you, he said this, and tell you that I love you. Your dad never told me he loved me, man. He always treated me like he loved me. He was always good to me.
Yeah.
But he said, I just want to come tell you I love you and that I'm proud of you. I didn't know what to say. I know what to say, man. I was like, Uncle Jay, I don't know what to say, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. So he had me in tears, man. And so we hugged and we talked. And he said, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Never saw him again.
The funny thing about it, we went in for surgery.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be an outpatient.
Right.
I don't know if you know the story. He went in for part of his colon taken off because they thought they really were sure. They thought he had cancer and they were just going to take part of his colon off.
Right.
It was supposed to be an outpatient.
Yeah.
We went up there that day. He didn't want us to take off work.
Right.
It was right down from the job. I said, man, we're going to take off. We took off and went in there.
Sure, absolutely.
And he went in there for surgery. And then they said, in an hour, he's going to put him in recovery and y'all go see him. 30 minutes within that hour, turned for the worse. We don't know what happened.
He died that day?
Died that day. 30 minutes they say you can't question things as meant to be. That's just, but
you just wonder if there was a
mistake. The older you are, when they put you under, they say it's harder for you to come out.
How old was he?
Daddy was 70.
So
he was 70.
He was still in good health.
He was in good health.
Yeah, because when I saw him, he was,
he still got around.
Happy and looking good.
He would still visit Mama's people after Mama passed.
Yeah, your mom died young.
47.
I went to her grave the other day. I was out at Little River.
Yeah.
I went to visit. That's where Grandpa and Grandma are buried, and I saw your mom's grave.
Yeah, Daddy and Mom buried right behind.
I saw that. Yep.
She died.
Your mom was so young, man. So young. It was so tragic. She was such a good one. Your mom was so hardworking.
Well, basically, when they put her in that bed, that was it.
Yeah.
She didn't. You know how she was. She was outside. Just like putting her in prison.
Right. She didn't want to do that. She didn't want to do that. Your younger brother, Gary. Yeah. Gary and I were almost the same. He's about maybe a year or two younger than me.
Yeah.
But we both got saved the same month.
That's right.
Both of us got saved the same month, and we both felt called to preach at the same time.
Yeah.
So we started preaching. In fact, I got a picture of me and Gary. This is me and Gary standing in the door of the Pentecostal church right across the street from where y'all lived. So I had a guitar, and Gary had his Bible, and I couldn't play the guitar at all. But I don't know why.
Daddy donated them doors in Grandpa's.
Grandpa's
name was on it.
In memory of Jesse Soley. I remember that. Yeah, they bought that little church. It was part of a school.
It was part of a school.
Yeah, I think I forget.
You know what, that little deal, when that guy come,
yeah,
Brother Charles Arnold.
Yeah.
He come with that tent revival. That's what got all our families in church.
Yeah, I got saved because of that.
Our mamas and daddies.
Everybody got saved.
Because
he won the whole neighborhood, man.
He won
the
whole
little neighborhood we lived in came to Christ. So I was riding my bicycle by the tent. They put a tent up there first.
Yeah, it's on that corner, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know what it was. It had a big sign out that said Holy Ghost Revival. I didn't know who the Holy Ghost was.
Yeah.
Or Revival.
Yeah.
So I went to see what it was, man, because I was curious.
Yeah.
Nothing to do in Springfield. So I drove by and I parked and I went and sat down on the back row. And he was preaching, and there's about maybe 15 or 20 people under the tent. And at the end, he said, if you want to meet Jesus, come up here. And I felt like he was talking directly to me, man.
Yeah.
Because he talked about struggles with sin and what's just going on in your life. Like, how does he know my life? Who is this man? How does he know what I'm doing? And he said, if you want to meet Jesus and get all your sins washed away, come on up here. So I went to the front, man. And he asked me if I wanted to meet Jesus, and I said, yeah. I thought maybe Jesus was out back. I didn't know. I didn't know what he meant.
Yeah.
You want to meet Jesus? And he said, kneel down. He prayed for me, man. I got saved that night. Yeah, that was July of 78. And then Gary got saved at when they opened the little building. He went with me to church, and he got saved there. Then we both started preaching together. You know.
Yeah, that one man come here.
I know it. It's amazing how God used that man. You know, in a powerful way. I went to get an inspection sticker the other day, and the old guy that's been selling my inspection sticker to me for 50 years, you know, whatever, 40 years. I went to, and I pulled up and I asked for him, and it said, "Oh man, he passed. He died."
Never had no idea.
I didn't hear it. He already had his funeral. You know, it's like.
Well, I mean, you don't know. I mean, just
right. Plus, we're getting so old, man. You're almost 60.
Well, they say I'll be 60 December. They say with our age, I'll be 60 December.
No way.
Yep.
I remember when you were a little red-headed, freckle-faced
now I have
softball
no hair,
boy.
So I ain't got to worry about it no more. Now I ain't got to worry about it no more.
You were the only cousin with red hair, too, man. You were the only
what Daddy had, people don't realize, Daddy had a mustache. It was red.
No.
But Daddy had, whenever if you look at some of those old pictures, he had.
I always wonder where you came from, man. How you get that red hair.
He had actually a red mustache. Yeah,
it must run on the Soley side of the genes then, huh?
It must be.
Yeah, because you're the only redheaded cousin. Most of them had brown or blonde.
And see, now Richie's, my son's red, boy, he's getting gray now, too.
That's right.
And his daughter, redheaded as red can be because his wife's redheaded.
Yeah, so they both have red hair in their family. That's amazing. So I was thinking about that. There was 5 of y'all in your family.
5 of us.
Tommy was the oldest. Then you.
Then me. Then Gary. And then Sandra. Then Marilyn.
And then Marilyn. And then we had 5 in my family. There was Mary, Paul, Russell, Ronnie, and me. And you know, my brother Paul just passed.
Yeah, I hate to hear that.
Yeah, last Saturday morning. Yeah, you know, it's just tragic.
Somebody had told me, Sandra.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
He didn't want nobody. I mean, I think when the last week, I don't know exactly what happened.
Right.
I mean, he said he was sick.
Yeah, he went to the hospital like a week before he passed, and the doctor said he'd have to have some, you know, like a ventilator and all. He said, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live in a bed for 2 years on a ventilator. He said, let me live to my natural life, and if I die, I die.
I die, that's right.
He wanted to die at home, so they sent him home, and about a week later, he went to see Jesus.
I don't blame him, man. You're not really living. I mean, that's everybody's choice.
Yeah,
everybody's got their own choice.
I know, but I feel the same way, man. If
I don't want to be that way either.
Yeah, let me live until my body.
If I'm not able to do anything. Yeah, I mean, just not living anyway.
I got to talk to my brother. I was in Florida all last week, so I didn't get to see him. But right before I went to Florida, I went to his house.
Yeah,
and I got to spend, you know, a few minutes with him. Yeah. Told him I loved him. And so I asked him, I said, Paul, are you ready to meet the Lord? And he said, I'm ready to meet Jesus, Doug. He said, I made peace with God and I'm done. He said, my body's worn out. I'm just ready to go home, you know. So
you get to a point you're miserable.
I got to pray with him. And it's the last time I saw him, you know. So we actually are going to the funeral home today.
Yeah.
To plan the funeral, you know, so we'll know the details. But man, you know, it's just, you know, I'm happy that we got to connect again. You know, I've
enjoyed it.
We've been best friends our whole lives. You know, even though we got years.
Well, we started having families.
I know. Once you get married and you
start spreading, you're having kids, and
you got jobs, and
that's right.
Then you got transferred. You had to work in Baton Rouge for a few years.
I had to go to Ville Platte.
Ville Platte, man.
Never even heard of Ville Platte.
That's another country.
That's another country. Never even heard of it.
Yeah, so we got separated, and then I came over to Slidell and started the church, and I've been here almost 25 years. So you just kind of lose touch with everybody, you know.
Only time you see people, it's sad to say, is funerals.
I know, it really is. And your brother-in-law died unexpectedly.
He died 3 weeks right after Gary did. He was 55.
I know.
He had pastored a church right there in Ponchatoula.
I know. And so you and I got to reconnect because of your brother's dying and my brother. So we got to hang out again. So we've been eating lunch every day. Yeah. I told not every day.
We're not inviting Rachel no more.
Yeah, Rachel came last time. That's true. Well, I kind of made her come because I had to go to.
I enjoyed it. I hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah. Well, I told her, I said, I'm going to see Richard. She said, I don't want to see Richard.
You told her, I said, as long as she'd behave, so she could come.
I told her. And she said, that's why I don't want to see him. Because I know he's going to insult me every time I see him. But we had a great time.
It was a good time. It really was.
We all told stories, you know, because her and Tina were best friends, man. They did everything together. We worked nights for a while at TK.
Yeah, and they stayed together.
And they would stay together overnight. And they would stay up all night till we got home.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, that was yesterday, man. That was yesterday, but really it was 40 years ago.
I'm telling you.
I know. It's just crazy, huh? How time flies.
I was talking about the TK. I know you didn't know. I was there like 30 years. It was family there. I worked with them people 38 years.
I know it. Yeah.
Man.
That's a long time.
I was 18 when I worked with these people, and all of a sudden we all had kids together. It was like family.
Yeah, so TK Valve, for those of you who don't know, was a ball valve manufacturing company in the little town of Hammond, Louisiana. That's right. Some smart guy. What was the guy's name that came up with that?
His name was Tyler. So I forgot what his name. That's what it stood for.
Yeah, so it was a little, it was a product somebody patented, and you could control the flow of oil with the ball valve. It was a brilliant invention, man. Brilliant. And it really revolutionized the whole oil industry. Well, for some reason, they built the factory in Hammond, Louisiana.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I guess because the land was
probably
cheap.
Tax prices.
Yeah, who knows? But anyway, and that's where your dad started working. So you and I worked there. I worked there 5 years. I started when I was 17. And I worked there until I was 22. Yeah. But I only worked there long enough. And I told Uncle Jay, your dad, when he hired me, I'm not staying forever. I want to work here till I save enough money to go to Bible college.
That's right.
And he said, Doug, that's fine. You stay as long as you want to stay. I'll stay 5 years. And in 5 years, I saved $10,000.
Yeah.
And then Rachel and I decided to, I'm going to quit and go to Bible school.
Yeah.
So your dad really made it possible for me to go to Bible college. He gave me that great job, and I saved up the 5 years worth of money, and paid my own way through Bible college. Because back then there weren't scholarships, or there was
you had to pay your own way.
And my dad and mom couldn't afford to send me to college. They didn't have any money to send me to college, but I was able, fortunately, because your dad was so kind to me, to go to Bible school, and he changed the course of my whole life, man. I mean, that's where my ministry started. Thanks to your dad. Yeah, so, and you're married again now.
Yeah.
I love
that.
I've been
lucky. I've married, like I said, my high school sweetheart, and I've married two good women.
Yeah.
Oh, what they wanted me, but I married.
How in the world did you
But I
married
that, I married two good women.
Tina was amazing. She passed away. She's with the Lord now. Now you're married to a beautiful girl. Yeah. How do you keep marrying beautiful women, man?
I guess because of my looks, Because it ain't money. You know what I want to do the money.
It's got to be your good looks, bro.
That's right.
Got to be your good looks, man. Yeah, I married Rachel right out of high school. You married Tina right out of high school. And they both were beautiful women, gorgeous. We both did so well, man. God was so good to us, man.
So it has been a good life.
So God's been so good
like
to
I say,
us.
we both got kids. Yeah. You never had to get yours out of jail. I've never had to get mine out.
I know.
I've never had to worry about. I'm not saying they're probably angels. They probably done stuff like me that I don't know nothing about. Yeah. But I've never had.
I know it.
Get them out.
Never been addicted to drugs. Never been arrested.
Never nothing other.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that credit goes to their mama.
You're right.
I know my kids. Your kids and my kids had great mamas, man.
That's right.
Yeah, Rachel was straight. Our kids. Rachel kept me straight. She kept me out of jail, probably.
But I was blessed. It's like you blessed with good kids.
Yeah.
And that's something you can't put a price on.
I know, man.
Can't put a price on.
Yeah, it's just wonderful to get together. I just love when all of our kids come over at the same time. There's nothing does my heart any better.
Oh, yeah.
Than see all 5 of my kids, in the house eating dinner together. Their kids, seeing each other, and just I don't know, man. It's just special.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
just special.
You don't see a lot of that no more.
No.
It's just
everybody
goes their own way.
Family special. Yeah, Richard. Cousins are people that lived your story and shared your experience, because you and I can be gone from each other 20 years, and then when we meet, we pick right back up where we left off, man. Because our life was, intertwined for so many years. We did everything together. We had some good years, man. Had some good years. Hey, I've enjoyed catching up with you today, man.
I enjoyed it.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has.
I know you got things to do today, so I won't hold you too long.
No, that ain't no big.
I'm going to put these pictures up for everybody to see. Kate's going to scan them in, and you can see this one picture. It's Tommy and you and Ronnie, my brother, who also passed.
Yeah.
And then Gary, and then your little sisters, Sandra and Marilyn. So this is a really cool picture. And the one of us playing basketball in the backyard. With the homemade rim, and then one of me and Gary.
That was a bicycle rim, what it was, with no spokes. That's what it was.
Ripped all the spokes out of it.
That's right.
It would last about 3 or 4 games. And then
that's right. It'd be hanging.
It would start bending.
Be hanging.
Yeah, man. Life is just too short, Richard, and I've been enjoying our lunches together. We gotta get together again. Last time we had Don's seafood. So maybe we can hit something different next month.
Might get to the house or something. Do something at the house.
Let's do that, man.
Might do that.
Do you barbecue?
Yep.
All right.
Well, I started. My wife finishes. She always says I get it started. She finishes it.
You don't do it right?
Well, I can't do nothing right.
Okay.
But I do nothing right for a reason because she finishes. That's just the way it works.
So you married a woman just like your mom, man.
That's right.
Yeah, because you sent me a picture the other day where you were cutting grass. She was cutting grass.
Cutting grass.
Yeah, and I love how her lines are all straight too.
I can cut it. I cut it the other day. I didn't weed eat, which I don't weed eat.
Yeah.
She weed eats. She does.
Wait, your wife cuts your grass and weed eats?
Does it all.
Dude, what did you do to deserve all this, man?
Just act like you don't know how to do it.
I don't know how this thing works. She'll come do it for you. Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah. All right, man. We're going to wrap it up then. Hey, thanks for joining us today. My cousin Richard's here and my lifelong best friend and brother, and we're just catching up on some stories gone by. Our grandpas and our grandmas and moms and dads are all going to be with the Lord. It's you and me now, bro. It's you and me and our kids, So we are the old people now.
That's right.
So, hey, thanks for joining us. I'm Doug McAllister. This is the weekly podcast from Journey Fellowship Church. If you want to know more about us, you can check us out at journeyfellowshipchurch.com. Better yet, go to your app store and type in Journey Fellowship Church in the search bar and download the Journey app. It is chock full of resources. There's past sermons. You can see all of the episodes of this podcast, stories I didn't get to tell last Sunday, as well as check out my weekly blog. I have a conversation with my dog every Thursday morning. You can hear what Hatch is thinking. And visit us if you are near Slidell, Louisiana. We have worship every Sunday. We'd love for you to come hang out with us. All the driving directions, all the information are they're located on the app and on the website. And we'd love to get to meet you in person. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Doug McAllister with my cousin Richard, and we'll see you next time from Stories I Didn't Get to Tell Last Sunday.